what do you think of rules? Because you have explored Tantra Shastra as well,
Yes.
and you have followed the monk tradition. You followed Bhagavad Gita, which is very much in line with
Yeah.
bringing in order and rules. So, and Tantra is, yes, I mean, where Shaivites, we know Tantra is about
Right.
pushing the boundaries.
Right.
What do
So
you see?
I think I believe in having principles in
Hmm,
life. Absolute rules can really limit an individual.
hmm,
Ultimately, at all point in time, uh, one should have that courage to make a decision, or that wisdom to know what the decision should be. Otherwise, that confusion is going to always be there. Mityashvasayasya prakritistvam niyokshati. Even if you decide something, Krishna says, look, it will turn false because nature will drag you into your natural playfield. And that's where rules and principles come really handy to know, to tell oneself what I can and cannot do.
hmm,
But when a third person gives us the rules, in the beginning, it's okay. A mother can tell a child, look, don't put your hand in the fire.
hmm.
In fire, it's going to burn. In the beginning, it's okay. But as we awaken, as we elevate our consciousness, at that time, deep somewhere, we realize what my rules should be for my life. Even Krishna, he said, "Iti jnanam kyatam guhat gautamam maya vimamshet sheshena yatha ichchasi tatha kuru." You do what you want now, Arjuna. I've given you what matters, what I've given you the most gopaniya, most confidential knowledge. Now you decide for yourself. So I feel in our society there is too much patronizing voice worldwide, not just in a religion. I mean, when people marry, they end up marrying their parents in a way that the wife or the husband will become a mother or a father, constantly telling what you can or cannot do. So that free flying kite which you just go out in the sky and see which tree you will end up in, that rarely happens to very few people. But until we experience that freedom, we would never know what we are made of. और
Wow.
कहते हैं कि पुरुष की जो जो परीक्षा है वो संपत्ति में होती है, और जो स्त्री है उसकी परीक्षा आपत्ति में होती है, विपत्ति में होती है. When a man is very well fed, which door is he going to knock? When a woman is under dire circumstances, is she still going to stick around with the man? So both are built differently. But until I know what my rules are, my guidelines are, my principles are, tasmat shastra pramanam te kare kare vyavsthiti. And if I don't know, then I have to turn to the scripture. Then scripture is my principle, scripture is my guidelines, scripture is my rules. So scriptures, I think, as long as they are guides, good. But if they become crutches, we have a problem. And that gives birth to fanaticism, and that gives birth to extraordinary amount of self guilt. Then somebody will always, I am not living my life by the rules that other people gave me. I mean, even if you follow like Manusmriti, if we were to look for a match for somebody in today's day and age, in this day and age, going by the Manusmriti, you will never find a person on the planet to marry. You just cannot fulfill the criteria. पीपल डोंट इवन नो कौन से वेद की कौन सी शाखा में उनका जन्म हुआ, और दादा पर दादा की तो बात छोड़ो. Simple things like that. So I think that is in fact one of the extraordinary beautiful things about Sanatan Dharma. It has not stopped evolving. And and because of that, it because it's evolving, it's timeless. And anything that's timeless is beyond decay. It will change, it will transform, but it cannot perish. Sometimes people ask me, look, what do you think? There is so much, for example, proselytizing happening or conversion happening, Sanatan Dharma would be wiped out from the face of earth. I said, it has never happened, it will never happen, it just cannot happen. If today there is conversion happening in many villages, mass conversion, then you have pictures of Shiva in the drawing rooms and the yoga studios all over the world. So truth finds its way, and those who are really attracted to truth will find sources of light automatically. And If the rules are used to further a society, good. If the rules are used to control a society, I think that's not good for the society. Yes, a framework should be there. And there is also this wonderful book. You must have heard of it, I would imagine, The Difficulty of Being Good
Yeah, yeah.
by. Yeah. So he explores the concept of dharma and why there can be no right or wrong answer. And that was also Arjuna's dilemma. He said, look, कभी आप कहते हो संन्यास योग मुझे ज्यादा अच्छा है, कभी कहते हो तपस्वी ज्यादा अच्छा है, कभी कहते हो भक्त ज्यादा अच्छा है, आप ही बता दो क्या करना है. And when Krishna told him tasmad uttishto kanta yuddhaya kritnishcha, he couldn't. Karpanya doshupada swapritchami tam dharma sammurcheta. I am ignorant, Krishna, and my hands are trembling. Nahi prapashyami tatta chokamut shoshnam indranam. My hands are trembling. I am giving up. I don't want to fight. Nayota city, he said. But when we have the power of dharma, it is like taking a small bulb and plugging it into a much powerful source. So that whatever I believe we draw inspiration from, we become that. So if somebody is inspired by dharma, that person is going to become dharma. And that's, I think, somewhere what Krishna meant, when he said, Samoham sarvbhuteshu name dvashyasti na priya. Ye bhajanti tu ma bhaktya mahite teshu chapyaham. But the one who really imbibe me in them, they become me. And that is also the goal of dharma, to constantly elevate ourselves to such a degree where things that mattered to us earlier, petty things that dragged us down earlier, would just cease to matter. When Buddha gained awakening, enlightenment, it's one of my favorite stories. I won't take too much of your time after this. Two people stopped him and they said to him, are you God? He said, no, I don't believe in God. There is no God. They said, there is this incredible radiance on your face. Are you some celestial being? He said, no, I am not a celestial being. Are you a Gandharva? I mean, are you a saint? Who are you? There must be something different between you and I. Buddha said, of course. I didn't say there is no difference. And the difference is, he said, you are sleeping and I am awake. Ya nisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagriti sanyami. Yasyam jagriti bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. The yogi is able to stay awake. And that really is dharma in a nutshell. Knowing when I ought to sleep and when I ought to be awake, I would think. And as Bhavna said, there are no wrong or right answers per se. It all boils down to perspective and other things.